Think all rich people live in mansions and buy $10,000 watches? Think again. The truth is, most millionaires live surprisingly normal lives. They drive used cars, shop at Target, and clip coupons just like you and me. So, what separates them from the rest of us? The richest lessons aren't flashy. They're strategic. They're about mindset, not just money. And that's what we're diving into today. Welcome to Wealthfully Yours, where we break down the hidden habits of those who build wealth quietly and keep it. These 6 lessons come from self-made millionaires, legacy builders, and disciplined investors. They don't just change your bank account, they change your mindset. The first thing most people get wrong about wealth? It's not just about the size of your bank account or how many zeros you can add to your paycheck. The real secret is something far more valuable, and yet it's something most people overlook every single day. It's not just about how much money you make or how much you can save. Money is important, of course, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. The truly wealthy understand that money is a tool, not the end goal. It's about how you value your time. Time is the one resource you can never get back, no matter how rich you become. Every minute that passes is gone forever, and that's why the wealthy treat their time with the utmost respect. See, most people spend their lives trading time for money. They work a job, clock in and out, and get paid for their hours. It's a cycle that repeats day after day, year after year. They sacrifice evenings, weekends, and even their health, all for a paycheck. But the wealthy, they see time as their most precious asset. They guard it fiercely, and they're always looking for ways to buy back their time, whether that's by delegating tasks, automating processes, or investing in opportunities that free up their schedule. They understand that you can always make more money, but you can never get more time. Once a moment is gone, it's gone for good. That's why they're so intentional about how they spend their days and who they spend them with. That's why they focus on building businesses, investing, and creating passive income streams. They want their money to work for them, not the other way around. They're always searching for ways to multiply their time so they can focus on what truly matters. Things that work for them, even while they sleep. Imagine waking up in the morning and knowing that your investments, your businesses, and your systems have been generating income for you all night long. Think about it. Would you rather have an extra $50 in your pocket right now or an extra hour of free time every day? That hour could be spent with your family, learning a new skill, or simply enjoying life. Most people would probably choose the money because it feels more tangible, more immediate, but that's a short-term mindset. The wealthy know that time, once lost, can never be replaced. But the wealthy, they choose the time, hands down. They invest in experiences, relationships, and personal growth because they know those are the things that truly enrich life. Because they know that time is the ultimate luxury. In the end, it's not about having more money. It's about having more moments that matter. And here's the key. To get more time, you often have to invest money. Hiring a virtual assistant to handle your emails, for example, sounds like a luxury, right? But think of it this way. How much is your time actually worth? If you're spending hours on tasks that could be outsourced for a fraction of your hourly rate, you're actually losing money. This is where the famous saying comes in. Poor people waste time to save money. Rich people invest money to save time. They understand that every hour they save can be reinvested into something more valuable. Learning a new skill, building a business, or simply spending time with loved ones. Remember, your time is your most valuable asset. Don't trade it cheaply. Invest in things that free up your time and allow you to focus on what truly matters. Alright, let's talk about income. Now, most people rely on a single source of income. Their job, that one paycheck that makes or breaks their month. But here's the thing, relying on a single income is risky. What happens if you lose your job? What if your industry takes a hit? Suddenly your entire financial world is turned upside down. That's why the wealthy diversify their income. They don't rely on just one source. They create multiple streams. Think about it like this. If one stream dries up, they've got others to fall back on. This could be rental income from real estate, dividends from stocks, royalties from a book, or even income from a side hustle. And here's the key difference. They don't chase checks, they build engines. What do I mean by that? Chasing checks is trading your time for money, over and over again. Building an engine is creating something that generates income. whether you're actively working on it or not. Think of it like building a business. It takes time, effort, and investment up front. But once it's up and running, it can generate income even when you're not physically there. That's the power of building wealth engines. They work for you even while you sleep. Now, you might be picturing mansions and sports cars when you think about millionaires. But the reality is, a lot of wealthy people don't flash their cash. They understand that real wealth is about freedom, not appearances. There's this fantastic book called The Millionaire Next Door, and it dives deep into this. It found that many millionaires live surprisingly frugal lives. They drive sensible cars, live in modest homes, and avoid unnecessary expenses. Why? Because they'd rather keep their money working for them instead of wasting it on depreciating assets and keeping up with the Joneses. They'd instead invest in assets that generate more wealth, like real estate or index funds. Remember, it's not about looking rich, it's about building lasting wealth. Take a moment and really think about it. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a flashy high-end car, maybe a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. The engine roars, heads turn, and for a brief moment, you feel on top of the world. But ask yourself, is that feeling worth the price tag? Is it worth knowing that the second you drive that car off the lot, it starts losing value faster than you can say monthly payment? That brand new car, no matter how beautiful or powerful, loses a huge chunk of its value the instant it becomes yours. It's a status symbol, sure, but it's also a depreciating asset, one that can drain your finances and keep you chained to your job just to keep up with the payments. Now picture a different scenario. Instead of pouring your hard-earned money into something that loses value, you invest in a portfolio of income-generating assets. Stocks, real estate, index funds, things that actually grow over time and put money back in your pocket. These assets work quietly in the background, building your wealth and securing your financial future. Living below your means isn't about denying yourself every pleasure or living a life of constant sacrifice. It's about making intentional choices, being mindful of your spending, and understanding the difference between what you want right now and what you truly need for lasting happiness. It means being smart about your money, choosing to spend on things that matter, and cutting back on things that don't. It's about prioritizing your long-term security over short-term thrills, and making sure every dollar you earn is working as hard for you as you did to earn it. When you save and invest, you're not just putting money away for a rainy day. You're building a foundation for your future self, a future where you have choices, freedom, and peace of mind. Every small decision adds up, and over time those choices can transform your life. Remember those avocado toasts and fancy lattes everyone jokes about? It's not about never enjoying them. It's about understanding the impact of your daily habits. You don't have to give up every treat or experience. But maybe, just maybe, you skip a few lattes or brunches each week. Not because you can't afford them, but because you're choosing to invest in your future instead. Make your coffee at home, prepare a simple breakfast, and watch how those small savings start to add up. It's not about deprivation, it's about empowerment and making conscious choices. Take the money you save and put it to work. Invest it, let it grow, and watch as your financial security strengthens over time. You'll be amazed at how much those little sacrifices can compound, turning into real wealth before you know it. That's how you build lasting wealth. The kind that doesn't just buy you things, but gives you real options. The kind that lets you celebrate milestones, support your loved ones, and create memories that last a lifetime. True wealth is about freedom. It's about having the ability to retire comfortably, travel the world, pursue your passions, or simply enjoy more time with the people you love. It's about living life on your own terms, without being tied down by debt or financial stress. In the end, that's what real wealth is all about. Not the cars you drive, but the freedom you create. Choose freedom over Ferraris, and you'll never regret it. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful forces in finance: compound interest. Einstein himself reportedly called it the eighth wonder of the world, and for a good reason. It's the snowball effect of earning interest on your interest, and it's the key to building significant wealth over time. Imagine this. You invest £10,000 today. With an average annual return of 7%, that money could double to $20,000 in just 10 years. But here's where it gets interesting. In another 10 years, it doesn't just increase with another 10,000, it doubles to 40,000. This exponential growth is the magic of compound interest. The longer your money compounds, the more powerful the effect becomes. That's why it's crucial to start investing early, even if you can only invest small amounts. Now, I know what you're thinking. But what about market crashes? Isn't it risky to invest long term? Look, the market will always have its ups and downs. There will be crashes, corrections, and periods of uncertainty. But here's the thing. Trying to time the market perfectly is nearly impossible, even for seasoned professionals. Instead of trying to predict the unpredictable, focus on what you can control, investing consistently over the long term. Remember, time in the market is more important than timing the market. By staying invested and riding out the storms, you give your investments time to recover and benefit from the power of compound growth. So don't get spooked by short-term market fluctuations. Stay focused on your long-term goals, keep investing consistently, and let compound interest work its magic. Most people trade their time for money. They clock in, clock out, and hope that paycheck is enough to cover their expenses. But the rich, they think differently. They focus on owning their time. See, when you own assets that generate income, you're no longer trading time for money. Your money is working for you, even while you sleep. That's the beauty of ownership. Think about it. You could work a job for $50 an hour, but you're limited by the number of hours you can physically work. But what if you owned a rental property that generated $50 a day passively? That's ownership working its magic. So how do the rich build these income-producing portfolios? The answer lies in a strategic approach to investing, one that focuses on acquiring assets that work for you, even when you're not actively working. Instead of trading time for money, the wealthy prioritize building a collection of investments that generate steady streams of income, month after month, year after year. They invest in assets like stocks, real estate, and businesses. These aren't just random choices. They're carefully selected vehicles that have historically proven to grow wealth and provide ongoing cash flow. By diversifying across different asset classes, the rich protect themselves from risk and maximize their opportunities for growth. These assets have the potential to generate cash flow, appreciate in value, and provide you with financial freedom. Take stocks, for example. Stocks represent ownership in companies, and over time the stock market has consistently outperformed most other forms of investment. By holding a diversified portfolio of stocks, investors can benefit from both rising share prices and regular dividend payments. When you own a stock, you own a piece of that company. This means you share in its successes and sometimes its challenges. As the company grows, launches new products, or expands into new markets, the value of your shares can increase, building your wealth over time. And as that company grows and becomes more profitable, your investment grows with it. You're not just relying on your own labor anymore. Your money is working for you, compounding and multiplying as the business succeeds. Plus, many companies pay dividends, which is essentially a share of their profits paid back to you, the shareholder. These dividends can be reinvested to buy more shares or used as a source of passive income, helping you cover expenses or fund new investments. Real estate is another powerful wealth-building tool. Unlike stocks, real estate offers both the potential for price appreciation and the ability to generate regular rental income. It's a tangible asset that can provide stability and long-term growth. Rental properties generate monthly income, and over time, the property itself can appreciate in value. As a landlord, you benefit from rising property values, increasing rents, and the ability to leverage your investment with borrowed money. Plus, you benefit from tax advantages like depreciation, mortgage interest deductions, and other write-offs that can significantly reduce your taxable income. These benefits make real estate a favorite among savvy investors. The key takeaway here is this: shift your focus from solely earning income to owning assets that generate income. Instead of relying only on a paycheck, start building a portfolio that pays you, even when you're not working. That's how you build lasting wealth and escape the rat race. By steadily acquiring income-producing assets, you create a future where your money works for you, giving you more freedom, security, and choices in life. Now, you might be surprised to hear this, but building wealth isn't just about being good with numbers. It's about mastering your emotions. You see, the wealthy understand that fear and greed are the two biggest enemies of long-term financial success. Think about it. When the market crashes and everyone is panicking, what do you think the wealthy are doing? They're not selling low. They're buying up undervalued assets because they've trained themselves to see opportunity where others see fear. On the flip side, when everyone's getting caught up in the hype of a hot new investment, the wealthy don't FOMO in. They stick to their strategy, avoid emotional decisions, and don't let greed cloud their judgment. So, how do you develop this emotional discipline? It starts with understanding your own psychology. Read books like The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Educate yourself on the common behavioral biases that trip investors up. Next, create a solid financial plan and stick to it. Having a plan helps you stay focused on your long-term goals and avoid making impulsive decisions based on short-term market fluctuations. Remember, investing is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be ups and downs, but by mastering your emotions, you'll be able to ride out the storms and come out ahead in the long run. So there you have it, the 6 surprising wealth lessons from the rich. They value time, diversify their income, live below their means, play the long game, focus on ownership, and master their emotions. Remember, wealth doesn't come from luck or secrets. It comes from small disciplined decisions, repeated over time. It's about adopting the right mindset and taking consistent action. Adopt these 6 lessons, and watch what happens next.